Welcome back to Margaritas in Paradise. Today I have a fun topic. You're thinking about dating a traditional Thai woman. Okay, I want to give you the 5 do's. Okay, the 5 do's to make this relationship start off successfully. People come to Thailand for all kinds of reasons, but there's definitely come here for romance and love, all right? And there's all different levels and thoughts about this here. There's the good side and the bad side, but this isn't something that's normally talked about so much. We're talking about the traditional Thai woman. We have to assume that you've already met this person, okay? You met her online. You might have saw her at the bank, got her phone number when you were at the hospital. Maybe she was a nurse, in contact with her, and now you have your first date. Let's say you're going to take her out for dinner. Okay, something simple like this. Okay, so you made your plans and you're going to pick her up for dinner. Number 1, if you really want to impress her, bring a gift. Now, it doesn't have to be anything major. A small token, a nice box of fruit or something like that, something that'd be really easy and something that they're definitely going to use. Food, is so important to the Thai culture. And we'll definitely get into more about that later on. But definitely bring a small gift. Now, don't go overboard, okay? Don't show up with a gold chain. If you show up with something that's too expensive, there's a chance that she will be too embarrassed to accept it. She won't be able to explain it to maybe her parents or her friends why somebody that she just met gave you something that's so extravagant. Okay, keep it small. If you decide to have it gift wrapped, I love gift wrap. I like to see the expression on somebody's face when I bring this box to them and it has the big bow on it and everything else. But you don't have to go that far out. Okay, that's not, you're going a little bit overboard when you gift wrap something of this nature. If you do gift wrap it, you need to be careful of the gift wrapping material and even the colors. Given something that is red in color, okay, traditional love type color, that may be a problem. It may be interpreted by her family to mean something else. And one other thing, dealing with gifts. Gifts are given for gratitude, okay, and definitely for kindness. So, and you want to show up and be regarded as being kind. And if her parents are there, respectful, and that sort of thing. All right? So, bring a gift. Number 2, sharing of food. Now, I'll tell you what. This one's got me into more trouble than I can tell you. It took me a long time to learn this. I would take my date out and we'd go to whatever restaurant, and because my likes of Thai food at one point was very limited, so I would order, let's say I'd order pad Thai, then whoever I was with would order 5 other dishes. Now, I'm not thinking about that in the least bit. Well, I am. I'm probably thinking, what does she need 5 dishes for? Okay, but her idea is that we're going to share these dishes. It's going to be almost family style, where you sit down, dishes of different foods, and then you have individual plates, and you dish up from those dishes, and everybody eats a little bit of everything. Back in the early days when I was just learning, I set that plate of pad Thai down in front of me, and I ate it all. I wasn't sharing any of it, and that is not the way to win points going on a date with a traditional Thai woman. Okay, food is so important to ties. You know, you never disrespect food. I'll tell you what, you have to expect this person if you take them to a restaurant, more than likely they're going to order maybe 3 or 4 different dishes. They're going to order a common dish like rice, or maybe some noodles of some sort. And when they bring out all the dishes, they're going to put them down between everybody. Okay, and then they're going to give you a plate and maybe a bowl, and they're going to give her a plate and a bowl, and there's going to be common serving spoons for serving the individual dishes up, and then you're going to have probably a spoon and fork, or maybe even a set of chopsticks, okay, per person, and that's normal. My advice there is to embrace this meal. All right, go out on a limb, try different things. If you don't like it, move on. Keep a smile on your face and say, "Oh, that's interesting." And that doesn't mean you have to eat everything, okay? And the things that you really like, let her know you really like it. Food is so important to the traditional Thai family. It's a big deal. That's where everybody gathers together and eats. It's the place to be within that traditional family, and we'll talk about that later. Now, the last tip concerning number 2, not sharing your food, that's impolite, and that's not going to win you any points. All right, you're here to win points. Number 3 is family. Her family is everything to her. Okay, if you're going to love her, you need to love her family. And talking bad about her family is not going to win you any brownie points, that's for sure. You need to embrace what's going on with her family. And all families have problems. There's no doubt about it. Okay, everybody has that black sheep in their family. Traditional Thai families tend to be rather large. They include extended family, cousins of cousins of cousins, uncles and aunts, and families tend to live together for a long period of their life. That is normal. When do people leave the nest? Okay, sometimes they don't. All right, sometimes they don't. You can expect that somebody may end up living at home forever. Not uncommon to have your grandparents live with you, or maybe you living with your grandparents, staying in a home that they've had for 100 years or maybe longer. If she loves her family, you need to love her family. You should be excited to meet her family. You should ensure that when you do meet her family, what's important to that family is important to you. If you follow that little bit of advice, you're going to be way ahead of everybody else. Guaranteed. So, if you haven't given me a big thumbs up, definitely give me that. Hit the subscribe button. There's a bell right next to it. Hit that for future notifications. Life is good. And make sure you hang out to the end for a bonus tip, all right? We love our bonus tips. Be number 4, okay? And that's public display of affection, all right? You know what I'm talking about. Kissing in public, walking hand in hand in public, being that romantic fool in public. You know, all women like romance. There's no doubt about it. A girl told me one time that she didn't like flowers. Baloney. If I had my way and I'm in love, I'm going to give flowers to the person I'm in love with every day. I told my wife at one point that I didn't want her opening doors anymore. If I was there, I wanted to open her door because she was just too important to me. In my mind, opening the door was the right thing. It was me showing her how much I cared for her. Guys in general are going to be shy. the land of smiles, everybody's smiling, okay, because they're surprised at what everybody else is doing. So everybody has their eyes open. They're watching everything that's going on. If you go to the beach, you're going to see families out on the beach that are fully clothed and they're out in the water. There's a lot that goes into that. But the traditional Thai family, girls don't show up in bikinis on the beach and that sort of thing. That is, it's disrespectful to their family. And it's just, as far as they're concerned, it's just plain wrong. When I was married, of course, I liked my wife to dress sexy all the time. Okay, I had this beautiful woman, and I wanted to show her off to the world. I really did. But when she was going to meet my parents or my relatives, especially older than me type thing, she was very respectful. She would dress with her dress all the way buttoned up to the top. The skirts would go down past her knees if she didn't wear pants altogether. She would never show her shoulders or a glimpse of her armpits or cleavage or anything like that. That just never happened. And that was out of respect. And you can expect the same thing. There's public display of affection, and then there's private. Okay? And remember that. A public display of affection can be interpreted many different ways. You're trying to move forward in this relationship, and you're trying to do everything you can to impress her, number one, her family, number two. All right? Number 5, Grapevine. Are you familiar with the Grapevine? I've mentioned before, everybody's watching. Okay? Everybody really is watching. If you're in a small community, everybody's going to know who you are right away. There's no doubt about it. Okay, being a Falun, white-skinned Western person coming into a Thai village. Eventually, you'll pull into a convenience store and somebody will be talking about you because they saw a picture of you and her on a social media platform. Surprising how such a small situation like a date can turn into a big thing very fast. And you have to be careful of how you treat other people, okay? And that includes potentially flirting with other people, That'd be a sign of disrespect, and that's going to get back to this girl that you're pursuing. You just can't do that. You just can't do it. The more you're here, the more you're going to hear about the guys that have Minoys, okay? He's married to a Thai woman, another woman on the side. And that happens in the Thai culture. There's the geek scenario, okay? And normally you think in the Thai culture, I would say that women have geeks and men have Minoys, but that's not always the truth, okay? A geek is basically a friend with benefits. If you're trying to show somebody how much you like the affection you have for this traditional Thai woman, you don't want to present her as one of your geeks, okay? You just don't want to do it. And you want to make sure at some point in time that you find out her feelings about these open relationships, all right? Just to make sure that you're both on the same page. The bonus tip, okay? The bonus do. Age gaps. My first trip to Thailand was in 1987, and there were major age gaps that you would see in general, okay? You're talking about 30 to 40 year age gaps between couples, and that was normal back then. But Thailand has been coming up in stature somewhat. I mentioned in another video about Thailand was always considered a third world country, and I think they're coming out of that now. I think eventually that they will not be considered a third world country for sure. But okay, we're talking about traditional dating in Thailand, and that 30-40 year age gap probably doesn't exist too much. I mean, there's probably exceptions to that rule, but for the most part, 10 to 20 year age gaps are appropriate. People 30 and under, okay? And once you're over 30 and you're starting to mature more, then there could be even more of an age gap as well. So what we're assuming, just to clarify this, when I say a 10 to 20 year age gap, okay, if a girl is 20 years old, it wouldn't be uncommon to see her with a 40-year-old man. But in the traditional sense, it's going to be very uncommon to see that 20-year-old girl in a traditional family, okay, with a 60-year-old man. It's probably not going to be the norm, not right now. Okay, at one point, that would have been the norm. But this isn't the Philippines. Thailand is different than the Philippines. In the Philippines, you could go there and get an 18-year-old girl, I think, and that would be the norm. Okay, they are such a poor country. I think that would be the norm. So those are the 5 do's to make your dating experience with a traditional Thai woman the best it can be. All right. If you haven't done so already, please give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, check the description box below for all kinds of money-saving tips. If you felt like buying me a cup of coffee and feel a lot better, do that. That's in the description as well. Other than that, we'll see you down the road. Check out the rest of my video collection, and bye-bye.